Welcome to the Lord Show. I don't have a big scarf on my head this week. I was going to do one yesterday, which was Friday, as I tend to do, which I waited till Saturday yesterday, or last week too. And this time, it's about 4 in the morning. I was at a friend's house watching the Strike Force thing. It was cool because my picks for the finals, if they hadn't fought each other, and they ended up not, would be Miesha Tate and Hitomi Akano, and Miesha Tate winning that fight. So that's weird because that's exactly how the tournament went down. Miesha Tate took it because Miesha Tate's one of my favorite fighters. Man, woman, anything. Love that chick. Awesome fighter. Pretty hot too. But I looked over at you all weird.
Why?
I just funny. And but yeah, she's a beautiful girl, great fighter, and just like she's real cool on camera because she's so sweet. She's sort of like Sarah Kaufman in the fact that like you just really wouldn't expect that girl to be a fighter. And she did real good. I was real impressed with how she looked. Like, especially some of, like, the judo throws that Akano tried to go with and the balance she had to stay on her back and stuff. Because some of those looked like, because the guy watching with me, he didn't know a lot about it, looked like Miesha Tate was throwing her around. And I was like, no, that was a failed attempt at Akano trying to judo throw her. She just rode her back out, sort of like Chael Sonnen. Which Chael Sonnen I have to get to, too, because he fucking... That was awesome. Like, I love the way that guy acts. I loved him after the fight. That's what won me over. He's one of my favorite fighters because of after the fight. The way he acted. I mean, he was just like, I'm heartbroken. I'm devastated. He's just such an honest fucking person. Like, dudes that I don't like George St. Pierre and Forrest Griffin, it's because they're fake. They're fucking fake. They say exactly what people want to hear. They're not their self. They just say exactly what they're supposed to. And it can be smart. I mean, especially for George St. Pierre. I mean, he's sponsored by Under Armour. He's got, like, the same kind of sponsors that NFL athletes do. And that's why, because he acts like NFL athletes do. He doesn't speak his mind. He just says exactly what he's supposed to. He's political. He uses that code of conduct. And I'm glad, though, at least in MMA, we don't have a code of conduct, because the NFL has, like, the way players have to conduct themselves, they can't speak their minds, really. People think guys like Ocho Cinco and T.O. are controversial. In MMA, those guys would get laughed at. I mean, that's not, those guys are still fucking fake, They're still not speaking their mind. Like, a guy like Ocho Cinco in MMA, it's like a Tom Lawler, just a goofy guy. It's nothing over the top or bad, Could you imagine a Nick Diaz or somebody like that in fucking football? They wouldn't allow it. He'd get suspended and shit. I think that's horrible that a guy don't get to do his job because he spoke his mind. That makes me sick. Like, I hate that about mainstream sports. So I love that about MMA, that a guy can be who he is. But it will cost you mainstream sponsorship price. So, I mean, I ain't saying nothing bad about St. Pierre. I just personally don't like guys who have to act a certain way on camera. But he does, and it's been a good career choice. And there are people that will disagree with me, but I mean, I can read people. Like, you can ask Kimmy. There's things I'll know about people right off within 2 or 3 minutes of meeting them.
It's creepy.
Yeah, that people like, you could never know that, but I just do. I can just sense things in people. He's fucking lying through his teeth when he's out there. Oh, I don't fight for belts, I fight for fans, and blah. He just says what he's fucking supposed to say. I mean, hey guys, look, I usually don't do Xanax. I'm about to do one.
Oh, yeah.
Hold up, babe.
I know. Ouch. I almost fell in. Alright, it's off.
Here you go. Not the littlest hobo.
Yes.
Littlest hobo here has been posting a lot more on the board. I like that. She got a really good response from
What?
for being on the video. You read all that,
yeah. Sorry,
for being on the last Lord show. You were like, holy shit.
I know what you're talking about.
Can you put my straw up, sweetheart? Look at that ass. They can't see it. Don't worry. Just me.
So hot.
Can you get the kitty?
Oh, wait, girl.
Yeah, I got a stray kitty.
Oh, look at her. She's doing more.
I know. I got a stray kitty. I found it outside, and there was another cat around here that had kitties, and I got her because I felt bad. See, look at her. Look.
Look
Kitty.
at her. Hey, look up. There you go.
She's adorable, right? And we call her Roxy because there's pain pills like Roxycodone.
Hello.
Look at him. About right now, everybody's like, how do you get her?
Hi.
This is us at the end of the day looking bad, and I look bad.
Yeah.
She looks great still, so.
Sorry, I know I keep waking up for the camera.
But, how did I get her? I'm the fucking Lord. That's how I got her. Because guys don't realize it doesn't matter what you look like. It's all about how you carry yourself and your personality, and I've spoke that forever. I mean, I have a beautiful wife. You know why? Because I'm confident, and I carry myself right. And she loves me. So that's kind of cool too. And I love her very much. Like, more than anything in the world, I would die for that girl.
I died for you.
Right. Seeing everybody, nobody wants to hear that, but that's fine. I don't care, because I am not in love with somebody. I think that's really cool, you know? Speaking of wives, Rock watches the show a lot, from the board Rocky, and he said his wife had a cyst on her ovary, which is real common in my family. My mom had endometriosis. My sister has endometriosis. Kimmy's mother has endometriosis. Well, she had a cyst on her ovary.
Yeah.
And they're always benign. I really, that thread got lost. I wasn't able to find it, so I hope she's doing okay. Maybe if you watch the video, man, you can give me an update on how she's doing and stuff, because she is hot. No, you have a beautiful wife and family in general. Your daughter is extremely cute little kid. He had the picture of her smiling in his avatar, her signature, where she didn't have her front teeth. It was adorable. Like, it's a great picture.
I think maybe you saw me. Remember?
Yeah. So he's a beautiful family. I mean, another guy, WV Punch Drunk Zach. I talk to him all the time. He actually might come down eventually. We'll hang out. If he does, he will be a special guest on the Lord Show. That'd be pretty cool. And his son, you know, it's funny. He's got him with the faux hawk and his fucking thing, and he's like, "This is what happens when parents sleep in." But Hot Carl actually rocks that pretty well. Like, Hot Carl looks good with his faux hawk. Whatever, man. He's just jealous because his son's better looking than him. Hot Carl, if he sees the show, will like that. He's a fan. The UFC this past weekend was amazing. I thought that was a great card. She was, of course, right about Junior Dos Santos. But if you look at my Fantasy League picks, I also picked Junior Dos Santos. I did not think that Roy Nelson was going to beat him. I knew he wasn't. But I'd like to see the fat man do it. Because, you know, back when I was fighting and stuff, amateur, but I was fat. I was a lot bigger than I am now. Like, if you look at me, like, I'm not a fat guy by any means. I'm not even a big guy. I used to weigh, I know you do, I was like 220 pounds. And I weigh right now probably 155, 160, and I'm shooting high. Like Crohn's disease, it's cost me a lot of my weight. Unfortunately. Because I liked being big. I didn't care if I was fat. Like, I enjoyed it. Like, I mean, because I wasn't, you gotta figure though, too, though, I wasn't unhealthy. And I wasn't eating wrong. I'm not sure what it was, honestly. I mean, I was in very good shape, a lot better shape than I am now, you know. I was in fantastic shape for what I am right now. And yeah, I guess, see, 'cause I hate when people are like, it has nothing to do with genetics. Yeah, well, I worked my fucking ass off back then. I worked my ass off, and I was still fat. I ate right, still fat. It was just in my genetics at the time. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I had great cardio. I was fast. I was real fast hands for my weight, because I would cut to 205. I didn't cut a lot. I cut maybe like 8 pounds or something. I didn't cut a ton of weight. And because back then, amateurs weren't really cutting weight here or there, you know, but I'd cut a little bit into 205, and I had really good hands. Like, my hands were, like, really fast. And I think a lot, though, I mean, I think that's why I won, you know, a lot of the fights that I did win. I went 5-1, but I think that a lot of it had to do with the fact that people would look at me. I mean, number one, I was young as shit, right? I mean, I look young now. I have a baby face, so you can imagine. And they're like, who's this fat 12-year-old I'm about to kick the shit out of? And, you know, then they get in there, and it's like, oh, my God, this kid, he has knockout power. He's fucking not going to gas out. Like, he's tough as nails. So that's really all I had was good cardio, good chin, and knockout power. And I was okay. I had good jiu-jitsu, too. But I usually didn't like to use it. George Gurgel fighter. So, of course, you know, that means I like to bang and slug. Mentioning George is going to fight KJ Noons, so War George. I actually am picking George Gurgel by decision. He's going to kick KJ Noons' ass. I'm sure of it. George Gurgel was not at his best in the UFC. Not at all, dude. He was a way better fighter before he was in the UFC. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Top 3 fights I've ever seen in my life. George Gurgel, Jason Ireland, and King of the Cage. That fight was fucking amazing, dude. George was a monster at one point, and then his knees, he's got real bad knees, you know. And I haven't, you know, I really haven't talked to the guy in years, you know. I mean, that's cool. I mean, you probably don't even fucking remember who I am anymore, but that's alright. I mean, whatever. I wasn't like a big, I'm not going to sit here and say, like, oh, I was great friends with George, but of course I ran my school. Everybody there knows George, and he was great, you know. He's a great coach, great guy. You know, every time he fights, I look forward to seeing him in the ring. Like, I probably get more nervous for George Gurgel fights than I do anybody else, because I've always wanted to see that guy do good. And when he got his shot in the UFC, I was real disappointed at how that went. Because I know he's better than that. I know he is. Like, I've seen it. I know he's a better fighter than what we saw. And that's real disappointing and frustrating. But I'm about out of time, too. This is a hand-rolled cigarette here, guys. So, you know, Golden Harvest. We're about done with this. Me and Matty D. Matty D rolls his own cigarettes too. He's a Bally Shag man himself, but we all have our own tobacco. Rolled tobacco is a lot better. I think it's better for you. Tastes better. I'd much rather roll my own cigarettes than smoke pack cigarettes. They're better for you. I mean, as good as they can be. Some people don't even, when they roll their own cigarettes, so they don't have filters on it. I have a little thing that you can put a tube on, is what they're called, and fill it up with tobacco. But that's the show, guys. I gotta run, about out of time. Keep my fans out there. I gotta thank God. Big ups to Biggie and Pac. Oh yeah.